What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Coach Carl. Mr. 57 is the new 27. And today's video comes from questions that I've been asked by certain people on my YouTube channel in reference to breathing doing certain exercises. You'd be surprised what you don't know if no one ever covered it. So yeah, breathing is important, because if you don't know how to breathe between exercises, the first thing you're going to do is run out of gas. And once you run out of gas, it's going to lock your muscles up. You're not going to be able to continue through the motion of getting the most that you can get out of these particular exercises, because you're not going to be able to do them. So the first thing you got to do is you got to learn how to breathe. So with that being said, we're going to start with one of the most exercises that people do on a regular basis, and that is push-ups. So what you want to do is you want to breathe out. You want to breathe out. You want to go. So you can breathe out, going down. In, coming up. Out, going down. In, going up. Like I said, when you know how to breathe correctly, you can get the most out of an exercise. But if you don't know how to breathe correctly, then you're going to wear yourself out long before you get to the point where the exercise is going to help you. Now, the same thing with crunches. If you want to do your crunches, you want to be here, and you want to go. Breathe in, coming up, to give you that little suction to bring you up out of your position. So you breathe out. Breathe out, going back. Breathe in, coming up. Now, a lot of times you don't know that because obviously you don't hear people breathing in and out that hard when they're doing the exercises. They're usually breathing through their nose, or they're barely breathing, or sometimes people ain't breathing at all because they don't know how. So they're holding their breath. So those are the two most important. Now, other things that you learn how to do, like punching. Punching, if you remember from hearing people on the bag, ha, 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 they're breathing out. Ha, 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 ha. That's how they're breathing. So they tell you the best way to do this is to not yell, but I like to yell. Ha, 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 I like it, but it's through your nose or shh, 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 through your mouth. So either way, you breathe out for the explosion, you breathe in to reload. So it's just like that. Each time you got power coming out. Even when you're doing jumping jacks, it's same thing when your feet are moving and you're doing the jumping jack. You have to know how to breathe, because when you know how to breathe, it helps the heart. It brings in that cardio. When you're out running, I think the trick is they got different ways of learning how to breathe when you run. When I run, I just like to breathe through my nose and keep my mouth closed. That's the hardest way to learn how to run, is breathing through your nose with your mouth closed. The way I do it is I always put a peppermint in. When I got a peppermint in my mouth, obviously I don't have my mouth open because I don't want nothing to go flying, no bugs, no dirt or no air to go into my throat, because I also run a lot in the winter. And when you run in the winter and you got your mouth open, you know what happens? Your throat get dry. So you don't want that to be a problem. So I keep my mouth closed, and I have a peppermint in my mouth, and I just go with the peppermint, and I try to think about something other than breathing. A lot of times when I first started learning how to run long distance, I used to put headphones on. Headphones was my savior, because I could listen to a song and not hear myself breathing and sound like I'm tired, or not hearing my feet hit the ground. Boom, 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 boom. So I would also just put a peppermint in my mouth and I turn the music on. And then every so often when I'm running, I go. And I just keep running. You don't go. That's for sprinting. If you're sprinting, that's the end of the race. That's when you're trying to come in and close it. But during the part of the race, I try to breathe slower than I run. So it's And you get your heart fixated at a certain pace, and your heart just beats like this. It beats like this. And then you get comfortable, and then you stop being tired. And then every now and then you go, then I go, and that's how I learn how to run. But they got different ones. I heard people say you take a couple steps and take a deep breath. I heard people do all kinds of little things. But you have to go with what works for you. When I first started running again, I hadn't been running in a while. So obviously, I was struggling. I was breathing out my mouth, breathing out my nose, breathing out my ears. My feet was breathing. Everything was breathing. And then I realized that I was utilizing too much of my energy. And that's why I wasn't going that far. So bottom line is, learn how to breathe. Most of the time, whatever the explosion is, that's when you breathe out. Whenever you're done with the explosion, that's when you breathe in. And that is a natural way of learning how to do it the correct way. So, with that being said, get your breathing on, get your exercising on, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. It's your boy, Coach Carl. Holler at me on the flip side. I'm out.